This is Optimal Living Daily episode 2653. Reset your internal filter and focus on positive opportunities. And time to embrace change and be delighted by disruption. Both by Rosalyn Palmer of rosalynpalmer.com. Hello, old friend. I'm your narrator, Justin Malik, reading you blogs every single day of the year to help you live a more meaningful life. There are no interviews on this podcast. It's not really a typical podcast, just me narrating some amazing blogs. And I have two posts for you today, actually, both from Rosalyn Palmer, so let's get right to them as we optimize your life. Reset your internal filter and focus on positive opportunities by Rosalyn Palmer of rosalynpalmer.com. I recently splashed out on a new computer. My old one was 7 years old and really showing the strain, and as this is an essential piece of business for me, I dug deep. Now a shiny new orange Mac sits on my desk. The old one was near its memory capacity and kept crashing when I downloaded things. Every time this happened, I started to think about how we are rather like computers, as we can overload when we try to download too much at once. Did you know that we can be bombarded by over 14 million bits of information at any time? To cope with this, we have a filter system called the Reticular Activating System, RAS, that is a collection of nerves in our brainstems. It is a portal through which nearly all information enters the brain. It filters out unnecessary stuff so that what we need to focus on gets through. Like all systems designed to help us, it can also have its drawbacks. This is the reason why when you decide to be different and buy a yellow car and take it out on the road, you see yellow cars everywhere. It's the reason that an exhausted mother will snap awake when her child starts to whimper, or why you are in a crowd but suddenly very aware that your name has been mentioned across the room. At a basic level, the RAS will respond to your name, anything that is a threat, and information that is needed immediately. However, from our primeval hardwiring, it also responds to novelty and looks for the new. For example, you enter a room and spot something different or out of place. Great when you had to notice what was different to survive, but not so great when you're trying to relax at home and keep seeing things that need fixing. My regular mantra to my partner is, look for what is right and not what is wrong, as having seen active service, he is primed to look out for what is amiss. The RAS seeks data that validates your beliefs. So if you believe that all dogs are vicious, you can walk down a road and not see the 10 sweet dogs that don't correspond to your filter, but your RAS goes on red alert as you pass the one that's growling, thus reinforcing your initial belief. At its worst, prejudice can develop. People see what they believe and disregard the rest. Even a heated debate on the radio or television will see people not change their views or let new information into their filter. As with all things, understanding is power. So understand your RAS and reset it for better results. This is called establishing your intent. It is rather like a goals or resolutions list. By setting your intention for what you want to filter in, for example, beauty in nature or people doing kind things, your RAS will help you focus on such a way that you meet the people, find the information, and become open to the opportunities you desire. Time to embrace change and be delighted by disruption by Rosalyn Palmer of rosalynpalmer.com. If you're planning a rail journey at any time, you'll want to check for any disruptions to the service, especially when there may be snow or leaves on the line. Disruption is usually not seen as a good thing. After Christmas, I heard someone telling a friend about what they had done over the festive period. They ended with the words, "It was nice, but I'm happy we're all back to normal now and that disruption is over." Wait, what? What a strange way to describe a time of goodwill and joy, a time to rest and reset, a special time of the year that you probably spent weeks preparing for. What you need to recognize is that we are hardwired in the primitive parts of our brains to like patterns and habitual behaviors. Habitual equals safe. Familiar equals staying alive. This is why when a relationship ends or we are facing massive upheaval, it can feel almost as if we are facing death and destruction. To our brains, this is the case. Yet, as a species, we have come a long way since the safety of our cave and tribe. At some point, someone ventured beyond the horizon and found new land, new animals, and worked out ways to deal with them. We survived because we adapted. So remembering that change is key to growth is wise. Breaking familiar patterns is essential to create different futures. The kind of people who change the world are disruptors. Many innovations came out of the Second World War in this way, jet engines, for example. The first Allied plane to use jet propulsion took flight on May 15, 1941. Though jet engines didn't really impact the war, they transformed both military and civilian transportation in the following years. Today, there are lots of disruptive innovators, a term coined by Professor Clayton Christensen at Harvard Business School. For example, Uber. They don't own any vehicles. Years ago in London, I would only get a black cab as they were safe and the driver had the knowledge. Yet the last time I jumped into a black cab, the driver told me he was retraining as a plumber because Uber had wiped out his trade. You may be thinking, how can I change things really? Well, being a disruptor is something that ordinary people can do. Like George Bailey in the movie It's a Wonderful Life, you may need an angel or at least a gift of perspective to realize just how much you have impacted positively those around you. We are all capable of this sort of disruption. To get familiar with it, you can start small. Start by stopping resisting change or seeing things that are different as chaotic. Change your vocabulary about what is happening. Instead of saying it was disruptive, perhaps say it was different or made a welcome change. You will win at life if you believe you can handle what's on your plate and change your view and vocabulary about events, even different, messy occasions like Christmas or moving home. You will be amazed at the possibilities it can open. You just listened to the posts titled, Reset Your Internal Filter and Focus on Positive Opportunities, and Time to Embrace Change and Be Delighted by Disruption, both by Rosalyn Palmer of rosalynpalmer.com. Imagine you've been stewing about a health problem you have, so much so that you almost resort to texting your group chat to get your friends' opinions, even though you know you won't find quality medical advice from them. But luckily, you can find it from a doctor on ZocDoc. Thousands of medical professionals on ZocDoc are there to help you. They listen like a friend and give you the expert care you need. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. Surprise twists might work for podcasts, but not for medical care. With ZocDoc, there are no alarms and no surprises. Choose from thousands of patient-reviewed doctors and specialists, browse doctor profiles, upload your insurance information, and get the care you need. Go to ZocDoc.com/optimal and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/optimal. ZocDoc.com/optimal. Thank you to Rosalyn. She made that analogy that how we're very much like computers. And that's something I'm reminded of pretty frequently myself. We're constantly processing. We sleep or power down like our computers. Sometimes we need parts replaced. We both get viruses, and our lives are finite. Most of us know what helps or hurts our computers, and sometimes we treat our computers better than we treat ourselves. And also like computers, sometimes we need a reset or new training or new update to maximize our potential. Being aware of that is where we have a bit of a leg up on computers, at least for now. Artificial intelligence is getting really good after all. And as for the second post, it's a tough one. As Rosalyn mentioned, we're wired to like habits and routine. It's what made us survive for so long. But with the benefits come the drawbacks of getting stuck and not making progress when, in order to progress, we have to embrace change and new situations. I think we all know this intuitively, but yet we still resist. Again, being aware of this is key though, so at least we can catch ourselves when it happens and adjust accordingly. So do adjust. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Rosalyn for the posts. Wishing you a wonderful day and middle of the week if you're listening in real time, and I'll see you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.